Hey guys, what is going on? Levi, it's been a while. All right, Bagred, what's good? Yeah, like and subscribe. This is Levi the Pearl. I appreciate you guys. Um, Trying to do more scheduling of the lives because I'm just trying to like hold myself accountable to the channel. I haven't been there for you guys because of my family situation, so I had to be away and. You guys got no updates. What's going on? I used to do a lot of lives for what's that thing called? Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I used to do a lot of lives for different things and give you guys update what's going on. And also pretty soon, like I said, it's coming. It's just man, when I get home from work, I'm a little tired. But the other thing I want to do. Oh, what's oh right, Beats here. What's up, right? What's up, man? All right. Yo, what's up? Hey, Bagwell. All right, cool. So, yeah, so, thank you guys. Um, right, your stuff has been on point, man. Good info, and I couldn't do the job every day posting. I'm trying, so I figured just do the lives every day. It's good. It's good enough, right? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You tell me. So yeah, the plan is I've scheduled all my lives so that way around this time, um, periodically, mostly, unless I cancel it for any reason, but I'll let you know. But we're trying to do the lives around this time, and the reason is because this is the time I'm on the road, and while I'm going to work, I have nothing to do. Usually, right now, I'm listening to podcasts or I'm talking to a really good friend of mine and we're just chopping it up about like business, or I'm listening to podcasts about business and just learning and growing. So whatever little I can give you guys, you know, that's help. But regardless, this is more like a blog. Okay, let's see what he said. All right, so that worked, bro. Just as long as you're creative on the daily basis, man. You're good. Okay, cool. All right. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, so the goal is to be in the shop every single day, even if I spend a half an hour get to the shop. Um, the other thing is do as much as I can, whether it's fixing the machines, doing some shirts. But the fact that I have a brand now and it's doing good. Um, I got two of them. So that's to keep me busy because what usually happens is when I don't have anything going on, like people don't post things that they want for shirts, I'm waiting. And then, like, as I'm waiting, things come around. But then, had I used my free time to, work on projects that I have aside for myself, I would have used that time to, benefit the company a little bit more and other ideas that I got going on. So the whole goal is to do more shirts, more lives, and now that I have two brands, I'm gonna start doing stuff for them also. So while I have stuff for other people, I'll just throw my stuff in there. Obviously, other people's stuff is gonna be priority. Unless my brand is taken off, then I may have to do this, the brand stuff as priority. But yeah, that's what's going on. So right now I'm talking about the HP T100. So it's a large printer I have. The update with that is I think I said on the last live. Um, so apparently the printhead, like the computer. Sorry, let me back a step. The printer itself is like a computer, and what it does is it has Wi-Fi, so it's able to update itself with the software that the company, I guess, has it updated with. And since it's updating itself, before in the past, it used to use cartridges that did not have dates on them. But now the printer, if you put a cartridge in there that's past 2021, it's going to know that printhead is old and it wants you to switch it out for a new one. And the printer knows, because what it does is when you turn off your machine and it restarts, when it restarts, it uses the Wi-Fi to try to identify um your, oh wow, that's freaking beautiful. It's a rainbow. Holy moly. Wow. Yeah, this rainbow is beautiful. Wow. It's huge. Oh man. Oh, that means it's raining. Oh, it started raining. Yeah. So anyways, back to okay, cool. Oh man, yeah. Those auto updates on the printer firewall sucks so bad. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I agree with you. So now, mind you, one was the old one, original one that was with it, but because I use unmanufactured ink, it recognized it and they went to a printhead lockdown, and that printhead lockdown caused me to call the HP, and then from calling the HP representative, one day I just decided I put the wrong printhead, and then I put brand new cartridges on it. It still works. So now I had two printheads, and I was still using the old printhead. So I had to put the new printhead aside. And I said I was going to use it when it's time, right? So eventually, the old printhead had figured me out, and then said, "Nah, this is the old printhead. You need to put the new printhead in there." So I did. I put the new printhead, right? So now it was supposed to, and the reason why I figured me out is because I put that unmanufactured ink in there, and it realized it, and because of that, it said, "Nah, you need to get a new printhead." And it basically corrupted the old printhead so that I'm unable to use it. Go figure. So now I had the new printhead in there. Everything was going great, and since I started with the ungenuine ink, it recognized it as being a normal thing, and it was just printing and printing, right? I think I printed more than I think close to 2,000 prints on that printer. Yeah, I was working it, man. I was working that printer like crazy. So yeah, so what ended up happening afterwards was situations at home with the wife and stuff. So I was out of the house, and eventually I came back. But in coming back, the printer wasn't used as much. As you know, it was in my old shop, my shop, not just at home. When I had the space, and I left the space because not it wasn't because it was too much. I was only paying like 600. Yeah, I was paying like $600 a month, and the space was it wasn't that huge. But in Massachusetts, that's considered low. The space was about a 9 by 13, pretty much what I have in the shop, which is a 10 by 12. So that's why one of the reasons why I built my shop that big and knew it could take everything I have. So I'm talking about the backyard shop I have. So yeah, so now what ended up happening with the HPT 100 is um, it when I turned it back on, because it's been like a good year since I used it. So when I turned it back on, what it decided to do was this: it stopped working. Right? It didn't turn off. Like the machine didn't have any issues, you know. Um, but I guess the computer, the firmware, and the Wi-Fi, and I guess the AI that's built into the machine said to me, it doesn't want that printhead. I'm thinking like, wait a minute, how you know it's an old printhead? It said, nah, I don't want it because you've been using non-manufactured ink in it. So I'm like, what in the world? So I'm like, yo, you're just a machine. I turned it off, turned it back on, and it said the same thing. I was like, dang it. And then it told me, hey, you gotta call HP. So eventually I called HP. HP checked it out and told me exactly like, yo, listen, your machine that you have is not just a printer. The printer itself is a big ass computer. It knows what you're doing. It's the printer is made to be a printer, but the way they made the printhead is so easy to take out the printheads. They figure they make more money by forcing you to buy printheads than forcing you to buy a new printer. The printer will print unlimited, but the printheads have a limited capacity of how much it will print before it decides to go dead, or it will send you an error code. If you bypass the error code, then it just stops printing. If you get it to once you turn off, make sure the printhead doesn't print at all. So I'm like, oh man, are you serious? The lady's like, yeah. Regardless if you use genuine ink or non-genuine ink. I'm like, how did you do that? They said, well, around 2022 or something like that, or 20, they made it so the printer forces you to buy new print heads. Yeah, or any version of that you use. So I'm like, she's like, yeah. So now all of them have like dates. You have to use it within the time specified, or if you haven't used it at all, it will tell you you have 1 month from use, or not 1 month, like a certain amount of months. Because I haven't bought the new one yet. It just tells you you have a certain amount of time to use your printhead. After you use it, you will need to get a new one. So I'm like, oh man, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah. Apparently, they realized by making the printer into a computer and making the print heads easy to switch out, and it's super easy to switch out the Epson 1400 print heads. All you need to do is just you go inside. There's a lever. You pull it out. I mean, you push it up, then you pull out the print head. Right? Everything is done on the print head, so it's easy to just take it out, and then when you put a new one in, the computer reads that printhead, and when you get the new one, it comes with these inks that has this specialized pressure on. They're pressurized, so when you put it in there, it releases some kind of pressure in the printhead that allows the printer to know that it's a new printhead because it sends out a code or something like that. Yo, this thing is super smart, man. I'm glad I have the printer, but pretty much she said there's been times when people are able to use it for like up to 10 years or less, but she says normally you'll have like about maybe 2 years or so, uh, max, to be able to use it. And she said one little trick to keep that printer from uh, getting a new print head is this: never turning it off. That's number one, right? Because when you don't turn it off, it purges the ink and allows itself to do printhead cleaning by itself. So it knows to do all that stuff. You don't have to even touch it, right? So hey, I know that is crazy. So this thing is alive, man. So now that you're doing the printhead cleanings, I mean, now that it can do all that stuff itself, it keeps itself from clogging the printhead, and then it also tells you, hey, you're running out of ink. Now she says when that happens, right, you run out of ink, you buy new ink. And she says at that point, it doesn't matter if you use genuine ink or HP ink. But she says she recommends HP ink because that's what they sell. So she wants to let me know, like, yeah, whatever I purchase with that's HP compatible is good for the printer. It will keep printing, and that's why I didn't notice that I was using non-genuine inks. But she said the minute you turn that printer off, it will know how long you have until it tells you that the printer is expired. But as long as you leave it on, it and you it tells you you need new inks. You just new inks, but never turn it off, right? So she said that's the key to keeping the ink head longer, because if you don't do that, the printer is gonna know, hey, I've been using this printhead for like 6 months to a year now. Let me give this guy a little code to know, hey, I'm gonna need a printhead soon, a new printhead soon. It sends you the code, right? That's why I have okay. That's why I hate buying print printers. These companies uh, jack up all the consumables. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. Um, yeah. So so now they making these printers a lot smarter, right? Beats. Like it's crazy. So they're figuring out like, yo, you know what? We have them replacing the inks, but why not have them replace the printheads too? So a lot of these printers that you see that's being made, if they're not made with EcoTank, they're going to be made with like parts that you have to replace often, and they're gonna make them interchangeable, so that way you can always be able to buy from them, and in that way that printer always needs service. So that's one of the things she said. The other thing she said was like um, eventually what's going to happen is the printer is going to realize that it's just old, and its firmware is going to push me to eventually get a new one. But she said it's most likely going to be mechanical issues, and then she says there's like people that can come out and help you fix it, or you can just buy the parts. So that's not a big word. So I'm like, okay. She's like, the only thing you need to worry about is just the printhead. So I explained her the machine, how long I've had it, since 2018, I think. Um, so she said, based on that, you shouldn't have much issues, right? Oh, just so you're wondering, even though I may be reading, my eyes are still on the road because you are on the road. Um, and then also, I have a camera for the car that has the back, the front, and then the inside of the vehicle, right? In case you were on my previous live, that's for when I do my Uber. I may do a Uber channel too. Hey, you always gotta capitalize on the money. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So that's what's going on with my HP T100. So I will not be using it for sublimation, possibly. Um, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be using it for sublimation. I do have the refillable cartridges, but I don't want the printer to start giving me issues, because when I buy this new print head, it's gonna be like around $300, and I don't want to have to spend that money again. So I'm just gonna stick with regular Epson ink, and what else? Regular Epson ink, and also uh, yeah, just regular Epson ink, and products and stuff. So that way I can keep the printer printing like it's supposed to, and I don't really need that printer to do a lot of those extra stuff. I am on the market of possibly getting an EcoTank printer. The reason why is because I do want to do sublimation, and there's a EcoTank printer that can do sublimation, but you got to trick it out. You know what I'm saying? You got to trick it out. So basically, you got to convert it in a way. You're not converting it because it's EcoTank. All you're doing is just adding ink that it normally doesn't use. Um, but yeah, so the goal with that new printer is to basically get it to print sublimation ink, and by having it print sublimation ink, I'll be able to move a little bit better, and be able to do large prints. It's not the F570, although I would love to get one of those, but I don't think I'm going to. That's not in the budget. That's not in the budget at all. Um, but it is another eco tank sort of um, you know. It will be a 24-inch wide printer because I find being able to print large with sublimation is is key to success. Um, as far as me, all right, Rice said, "Hey, bro, I gotta go. I have this meeting I gotta be at." No problem, bro. Peace, man. Thank you for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. So yeah, like that's the goal. The HPT 100 will just be doing posters, large prints, and you know, um, yeah, just posters, large prints, and what else? Yeah, anything else that deals with using regular printers. So I can't really force it to do other stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. After I purge it with the regular ink that it's supposed to use, I will be able to um, use my refillable inks. As long as I don't turn off the printer, it won't know the difference. And if I do turn it off, I can always put back the original ink in there for it to know the original ink is in there, and then I can immediately take it out. So we'll see how that goes. I'll give it a try, and if that works, then I won't need to, get that large sublimation printer. I can be able to use one, so that'll save me some money. Um, but if I'm able to, I mean, if I'm not able to, I'm definitely not going to use that for sublimation. But I just wanted to tell you guys that the HPT 100 series, this is how their new firmware updates. This is what they've done now to the printer. So if you notice you're having issues, that's the reason you need to get yourself a brand new printhead. And by doing so, it'll help you be able to keep up with the printer because obviously they've turned this printer now into a AI printer. It's got a mind of its own, like I said. You know, but I'm gonna go too. I got a meeting with a friend, talk some good business. Wow, that's a short live. Shortest I've done so far. All right, peace.